and welcome to another Casual Tabletop Nerd unboxing. And today, I am very excited. We have Lorwyn Eclipsed. Managed to get myself a box. I'm very, very stoked about this. As far as the sets from Magic coming out this year, this is probably the one I'm most excited for. So I had to splurge a little and grab me a box. So I thought we'd crack this open, take a look. I only know like 4 cards that are in this set. And, maybe chat a little about where I've been and what's going on with the channel. But I know this is the new hotness, and I'm very excited. I know you're excited. So let's take a look here. All right. So this is actually the first box of Magic boosters I've bought, God, in like 17 years. So I'm very excited to see what happens. I've got some buddies who've already opened theirs. I just picked mine up. So let's see what we got. Dawnhand Eulogist. All right. Like I said, I don't know what most of these cards do, so I'm not going to spend too much time looking at them here on camera just because I don't want to, waste your guys' time. But I'm so excited to be back at Lorwyn and see what's going on. The original Lorwyn block was one of my favorites. I thought it was so good. Other than making Planeswalker cards a thing, it was just such a great set. Because I'm a big sucker for building theme decks and I guess they call them kindred decks now instead of tribal. So I really liked that set. It was sort of the same reason I really liked Bloomburrow was it played a lot into that sort of building themed decks, worked really well, and I love that. So very excited for this. I'm very excited to see what's in here because, like I said, I've only seen like 3 or 4 cards. I've been sort of avoiding all the spoilers that I can. So I don't really know what's going on in here. And I'm excited to see what new decks I might be able to build or what I might be able to work into some of my existing decks. So yeah. Good old red. Gain trample and haste until end of turn for 1 mana. Okay, that's actually pretty fucking dope. So yeah, Lorwyn's great. I'm very excited about this. And I'm really hoping to get some good pulls and make some fun stuff happen here. All right, let's do our first rare, Spry and Mighty. Choose 2 creatures you control, you draw X cards, and the chosen creatures get +X/+X. Gain trample until end of turn, where X is the difference between the chosen creature's power. Okay, that might be really good in my Simic deck, actually, that's like all about card draw. And ho! What the fuck? That art is dope. Doran Besieged by Time. Oh, holy shit. Each creature spell you cast with toughness greater than its power costs 1 less to cast. Okay, so a toughness-based deck. Ooh, that could be fun. That's beautiful. This is what I love about sets like Lorwyn, man, is the art in them, put that aside, is just absolutely spectacular. Even the land. I mean, look at that. That's just so damn cool. And then token. But yeah, the art in Lorwyn was always one of its big strong suits. I felt the same way about, again, Bloomburrow. The art in it was just great. So I'm excited to see more really cool art coming out here. Flamekins. So yeah, where have I been? I know I sort of disappeared for a little bit. And basically what happened is pretty simple. And there's so many changelings in this set already. My wife and I ran into some issues where we had to fight with my cat being on the table. uh, we had to deal with some unexpected expenses. And so all of my hobby money had to get redirected to basically making sure that was taken care of. And so I basically just didn't have any fun money. I couldn't spend anything really. So I wasn't gaming for a bit. And Thirst for Identity also would be good in my Civic deck. So yeah, I just wasn't gaming, and I could have kept making editorials and talking about gaming, but you sort of hit a point where if you're not gaming but you're still constantly talking about it, it can be a little depressing, and it can do. Oh, hey, Shockland! Hell yes! Oh, that's cool. Foil Forest. All right. Anyway, yeah. So, I thought I could sort of just talk about it and keep doing stuff on the channel, but ultimately I was sort of dealing with some depression because of it, and I didn't want that to impact the quality of my videos. I know my videos aren't super high quality. They're not, crazy production values or anything, but I didn't want my videos to start sounding bitter and angry because I was bitter at the moment. And so I decided the best thing to do was just to step back and all right, more counter spells. Love that. But yeah, so I decided the best thing to do was to step back and just sort of get out of the hobby for a minute until things settle back down. And they since have, and I'm back in, and I'm I've gotten back into playing Magic. I've been going to Commander Night at my local store. Well, one of many local stores here in the Salt Lake Valley area. And yeah, I've been playing this and Star Wars Unlimited. I started playing Warzone Eternal. We're trying to build up a community for that here. Which brings me to my next point. What's sort of the future of the channel? And I'm sorry, what? Is this a 6/6 for 4? Hold on. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may blight 2. If you don't, you lose 3. I mean, that's still pretty good. That would be really good in a deck where you kind of want your stuff to die. You can put blight on like token creatures to kill them to get some sort of effects. This might be good in my Orzhov deck. I'll have to see if I can make it work. But yeah, future of the channel. What's the plan? Well, right now the plan is look at cool ass Lorwyn cards. But yeah, I'm intending to do more videos. I've been debating buying just some loose booster packs of like Star Wars and stuff, and doing little unboxings of those, or not unboxings, but pack opening videos of like 6 packs at a time. But I don't know if that's something people actually want to see. Because the thing for me is, with Star Wars and Magic, I only play Twin Suns and Commander, respectively. So buying, a whole ass box of packs is not something that I intend to be doing on the regular, because ultimately I do end up with a lot of cards. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, only ever buy singles. Don't ever buy, sealed product because it's a fucking waste of your money. You don't get your money back. Like, I'm not here for an investment. Like, I'm here to get stuff. And if a set really interests me, yeah, I'll probably grab a booster box. That said, that's a bit more of an expenditure that I sort of have to try and justify. So yeah, like Lorwyn was definitely a box. You know, like I said, this was one of my favorite sets back in the day. With Return to Strixhaven, I will probably just end up getting a bundle. Hobbit, I might grab a box if they're a reasonable price. God knows what they'll be at that point in time. Otherwise, that will probably also just be like a bundle sort of thing. And same with Star Wars, like A Lawless Time, sort of depending on what else. You know, again, I'm trying not to see too many spoilers, but I do like knowing what leaders are coming out for those sets. So depending on what we get there, when Reese enters another target creature you control gains persist until end of turn. Oh wow, that might also go in my Orzhov deck. That could be pretty good. But yeah, so with those, like with Star Wars, you know, I definitely like to see who the leaders are in the set, and if there's leaders that I'm really interested in, then I might buy a box, or I might just try and go to pre-release and grab me a pre-release pack and then buy some loose packs here and there. So it'll all depend. But yeah, I do intend to do more stuff for Star Wars and Magic, you know, opening product. Like I said, if you guys are interested in seeing me just sort of do the occasional opening of a handful of packs that I pick up, let me know. I'm happy to do it. I just don't want to flood the channel and seem desperate, right? So, but yeah, I'm also planning to get into Armored Clash here probably in the next month or so. And so I will be doing an unboxing of the army box that I buy for that. I might also end up getting into Dystopian Wars in the future, so I'd be doing that. I will probably do unboxings of some Warzone stuff. So some miniatures in there as well. And ooh, again, the art, killer. But yeah, I would like to keep doing that. I do have a couple other videos planned. Ooh, foil rare. Kin binding. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Beginning your upkeep or beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 green and white kit. This could also potentially be good in my Orzhov deck because I've got Ink Shield in there, which can create a shit ton of creatures in a single go. So, and I've also got other cards that create token creatures and stuff like that. So yeah, that's sort of the stuff in the immediate future. I am also planning to do a full review video for Warzone Eternal. I've got it all. Move these out of the way. I've got that all scripted out and ready to go. I just need to actually sit down and film the B-roll for it. So that is on the way. And I'm currently toying with the idea of doing a Learn to Play series on Warzone. So we'll see what happens there. That will probably need to go in my Simic deck. But yes, I plan to do way more stuff. I'm planning to do a lot more in the future. I can't make any promises about like gameplay videos. With TCGs, it's hard because you need a really good camera setup, and I'm just, you know, recording on a cell phone because my actual video camera's dead, and I have no idea where the hell the charging cord for it is. So, oh my god, this border is just so good. Put that there. So yeah, that's sort of the plan. I might do some battle reports in the future, but they will probably just be like slideshow style battle reports, because doing, live battle reports is a big time investment and can be a real pain in the ass. Holy shit. Oh god, that's so cool. This is one of the few I've seen. Oh god, that's just so dope. I love it. Oh man. Okay. There's our first mythic of the box. But yeah, so doing like full-on battle reports can be a real pain. Mutavolt. So I don't know. So that's something that I'm considering. But yeah, I'm back. I'm happy to be back, and I'm excited for some stuff that's coming out. Like I said in my my video about 2026 and what I'm excited for, Lorwyn, Return to Strixhaven, and Hobbit are on there as far as Magic goes. I'm trepidatious about what's it called? Reality Fracture. Just because Mark Rosewater has already said it won't be something makes me think it'll be exactly that. Because remember, not that long ago, he said Universes Beyond wouldn't be standard legal. And I don't have super strong feelings on Universes Beyond. Like, I'm sort of ambivalent towards it. But, can we really trust Mark Rosewater at his word these days? So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel on Reality Fracture, but God, that art is so good. But yeah, this and Strixhaven and The Hobbit, I'm very excited about those. Like I said, I wasn't playing Magic when the original Strixhaven came out, but it always looked cool. Another mythic, Spinerock Tyrant. God, the art is just so good in this set. Deep Channel Duelist. Foil Planes. So, I don't have a super, deep attachment to Strixhaven. But I am excited about it. The cards I've seen from the original set look cool, and I'm really hoping that the return set is good. Like I said, I'll probably buy a bundle for that, just because buying a whole booster box just might not be practical for me. I do end up with a lot of dupes, and a lot of times that's fine because I have multiple decks, so it's nice to have an extra copy, so I'm not having to swap shit between decks. But I do also have to find space to store all my cards. I have to organize all my cards, and sometimes it's just like, is it worth it buying 30 booster packs or whatever comes in a box these days? Conveniently doesn't say anywhere particularly easily noticeable on this box, by the way, how many come in it. But it is more expensive than it used to be. And honestly, the inflation excuse can only go so far, right? So yeah, that Strixhaven will probably just be a bundle. Maybe if they do the Draft Night bundle, like they were doing with Lorwyn, maybe I'll grab one of those. Because here's the thing, I don't really have any interest in collector boosters. Like, I don't care. I'm not a collector. I'm buying these as game pieces. And I'm not buying them as an investment, so like I'm not like, oh, I have to get the super special alt art treatment that only comes in the collector booster, because those are the only cards in the whole game now that are worth any money, sort of thing. I'm not really interested in that. I don't really deal with that. Tap, draw a card, then discard it. That might also go in my Simic deck. So I don't ever buy collector boosters. Like even in Star Wars, I don't buy the Carbonite box boosters, even though my store does a great deal on them. That's basically buy two get one free. But I just don't care. There's nothing in there that makes me intrinsically go, oh, I have to have that. So if I were to get, if they did the draft night bundle again for Strixhaven, and I bought one, oh my god, this would be really good in either of my Dimir decks, because one is basically all rats and the other is basically all zombies. So that could be pretty sick, especially because both those decks can create a bunch of token creatures, which I could then use to convoke this out for cheap. All right. I see Bloodline bidding. But yeah, God, that looks good in foil. If they do the draft night bundle again, I might grab one. Just kind of for kicks, I guess, and maybe as something of a product review. Like, is it worth it to buy one of them? I'm sure there are other people who are far more qualified to actually say whether or not it's a product worth buying, but I have to get my opinion in for some reason. So yeah, I might do that if they do that, just to see and get my first collector booster, just sort of as an experiment almost. Provided they don't jack up the prices again between now and then, because a lot can happen in 2 months. There's a set comes out every 2 months. God, Magic's release schedule this year is just out of control. Oh my God, the art's so good. This creature enters the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal Kithkin, Forest, or Plains card from one. Okay, well, I've been toying. I have a Tristani, the 3 Whispers that I want to build a Simic deck for, or not Simic, Celestia deck for. So this might be fun in that. We got another copy of Doran. This time, not quite as cool. But yeah, so. God, what was I saying? I got distracted by pretty art. Oh yeah, Magic's release schedule. I know this is such a just beating a dead horse topic, but Magic's release schedule is out of control, right? 7 standard sets this year. And look, like I said, I only play Commander. I don't bother with Standard. I'm not having to keep up with the meta and things that are ever changing or whatever. But Jesus Christ. 7 sets, 4 of them are Universes Beyond. It's madness. The beginning of this year is so densely packed with releases that it's kind of hard to keep up. I'm sort of lucky that, like I said, I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a franchise that I enjoy. I've been reading the IDW comics, and they're fucking phenomenal. so far. So like I like that franchise. It's something that has meaning to me, you know, from my childhood and from now. So, but at the same time, like I don't want Ninja Turtles in my Magic the Gathering. Like if I wanted Ninja Turtles, I would go play something else. Oh, Mirror Form, another mythic. Each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent. Oh. Okay, that sounds fun. But yeah, like I like Ninja Turtles. I like Star Trek. You know, Star Trek's a franchise that I am a fan of. But uh, I don't want Star Trek in my Magic the Gathering. It's just not. It's not something I want mixed together. You know. And like I said, I'm sort of ambivalent on the whole Universes Beyond thing. I've debated doing a video talking about my feelings, but maybe I'll just talk about it here. For me, I get it from a business standpoint, and some of the sets I'm totally cool with. I wholeheartedly believe that the Magic adjacent, which is a term Wizards of the Coast coined, or at the very least used in official press, those sorts of Universes Beyond things can totally be standard sets. They can be full sets, whatever. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Avatar, Final Fantasy, even if I think the later Final Fantasy games kind of suck. Like those can totally, those are things where if you didn't know what those franchises were and you saw them next to cards from this set, you could be forgiven for thinking they're part of the same greater universe. But Star Trek just stands out too much. Ninja Turtles stands out too much. Marvel stands out too much. And again, these are franchises I like. I enjoy Marvel. I enjoyed a lot of the MCU stuff. I got my handful of Marvel like trade paperbacks that I enjoy. And another Shockland. And so yeah, it's not a case of all Universes Beyond bad, but the things that aren't Magic adjacent, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Marvel, those are things that, in my opinion, should be limited to secret layers and bonus sheets. Like, if you were opening Edge of Eternities and there was a Star Trek bonus sheet and you opened a pack of 14 cards and one of them happened to be a Star Trek card, you might be a little bummed. You might be a little, this doesn't really fit with Magic. But you can kind of ignore it when it's one card in a pack and not the entire fucking pack, not the entire set. And I feel like that fits better. Like, I get it. Milk the franchise, whatever. Do what you got to do. But I just feel like there's smarter ways to do it that also wouldn't maybe piss off the community so much. But then again, Universes Beyond stuff sells like fucking hotcakes. So what do I know? Maybe pissing off the community really doesn't have any sort of negative side effect because Magic's still raking in money hand over fist. Another mythic. Soul Immolation. As an additional cost to cast a spell, Blight X. X can't be greater than the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Soul Immolation deals X damage to each opponent, each creature they control. God, I love red. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like there's a smarter way to handle it, but at the same time, like Wizards isn't losing any money from the way they're handling it. So maybe it's not as big of a deal as the internet likes to make it out to be. Ultimately, my my real, true, honest to God thought on it is Wizard of the Coast and Hasbro are going to do what they're going to do to make money, right? That's their goal. And if you don't care about a particular set, right, you don't think Ninja Turtles belongs in Magic the Gathering, then don't buy any fucking Ninja Turtles product. It really is that simple. You know, and I know people are going to go, oh, but they're going to put good cards in there to make it, so you need to buy them to remain competitive. But you know what? You're making the choice to play with fucking cardboard at a competitive level. Like, it's just a goddamn game, guys. It's not that serious. So I think this whole, oh, okay, that's real pretty. That another Shockland? It is. Oh, it's double-sided? Why? Why is it double-sided? Are the other Shocklands like that? Hang on. Am I losing my mind? No. Just the full art ones, I guess. Okay. Well, that's dope. I don't know why you would ever play it on this side. When this side just looks so much, whatever. But yeah, god damn, even that forest looks cool. But yeah, I just ultimately just don't buy it. You know, stop buying into the arms race bullshit, you know. Oh, you gotta buy it to stay competitive. Like, well, maybe find a way to be competitive without buying products that you actively hate. Because if you sit there online and you bitch and moan about how shit the product is and how much you hate it and how it's ruining your game, but then you still buy it and you're still giving money to the company that makes it for that product, then what are you accomplishing? And I know ultimately, oh, that's interesting. It's like a full art under the text box. Yeah, like it goes outside the. I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe I have other guys do that. I don't know. But yeah, like I know at a base level, like Wizards gets their money either way because they sell it to distributors or directly to stores. You know, they don't sell product to the consumer directly. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there, obviously, but I think getting your panties in a twist over a product that you don't want to buy and then continuing to buy it makes no sense. Also, we got another one of these command cards. So is there one of these for each of the 2-color combos? That'd be kind of dope. And oh, look at that. That's sick. Oh, look, that's double-sided. Okay. Holy shit. Oh, man. That's so pretty. But yeah, so like, just don't buy it. That's what it ultimately boils down to. Because that would be like me. I'm a pretty so like for me, like I'm a pretty ardently against Warhammer 40K, for example. I think it's a bad game. You know, in all my experience of playing and reviewing games, Warhammer 40K is a bad game. It's got bad rules, bad mechanics. Company doesn't give a shit about making it better. That would be like me spending a bunch of time telling you about why 40K shit and then going, oh, but check out my Space Marine army. Like, why would I do that? Just don't buy the fucking product. I don't know. Maybe I spend too much time on the internet. I'm definitely at a point where I'm sort of caring less and less about what other people are saying because it's just the same whining being regurgitated. And like, hey man, I get it. I get why it's frustrating to see Marvel and Ninja Turtles and Star Trek and The Office and SpongeBob in Magic. I really, really get it. But just don't buy it. Bitching about it on Instagram or bitching about it on Reddit isn't going to change anything. Wizards isn't going to pop into the Magic subreddit one day and go, boy, all these people really hate Universes Beyond. We better stop doing this thing that's making us fucking rich. Especially when, once again, it sells. It sells really well. People were bitching and moaning about Universes Beyond, and then they went out and were willing to pay insane markups to get Final Fantasy cards. Like the hypocrisy is astounding to me, basically. So all that to say, you will not see me opening any Marvel or Ninja Turtles or Star Trek cards on this channel. I owned a whole 2 booster packs of Avatar. I would have liked to have gotten more, but it's $7 a pop, man. It's just it was a little tough to justify. New Evolving Wilds. So yeah, you won't see me opening any of those. I don't care about them. I'm not interested. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, The Hobbit is is the only Universes Beyond set coming out this year that I'm interested in. And I'm very excited about that because The Hobbit, oh my God, so good. The Hobbit is one of those things that I just love. And the Tales of Middle Earth cards were really good, from what I understand. Everybody I know who has them says it was a really solid set. So I'm hoping The Hobbit will follow in its footsteps in that regard. And yeah, I mean, like The Hobbit's just one of those things. Like I like Middle Earth. It's one of those things I really like. I feel like it fits with Magic as far as Universes Beyond IPs go. And so I'm very excited to see how that turns out. But yeah, here's the thing, man. Star Trek could have some of the best goddamn cards ever. Like, for real, it could be every card in that set could be stupid broken, game winner, 1-card combos somehow. I still wouldn't buy it because I just don't want to support that sort of that's sort of Universes Beyond set. So Gloom Ripper. So yeah, it's just one of those things, you know. But yeah, the release schedule is the thing that bugs me more than anything. Because it means that we don't have time to really like sit down and enjoy sets anymore. You know, a set comes out and you get like a week before you're getting bombarded with spoiler season for the next set. Because, and I talked about this a little in my video about spoiler seasons, but these companies are, this has got that sort of extended art too. Companies are so terrified these days that if you're not constantly churning out news and promoting and all that people will go, oh, I guess that game's dead and move on. But like, it's Magic the Gathering. Like, you don't need to do that for this game in particular. Grub Storied Matriarch. Oh, this is a double-sided. Okay. Very cool. So, like, you can sort of slow down, and there's just too many sets. For me, thankfully, being someone who's, A, kind of picky, and B, has self-control, uh, I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, I think the first quarter of 2026 is going to be a little rough, just because this came out and Strixhaven's coming out and Lawless Time's coming out, and I want to get my Armored Clash stuff. So it can get crazy, but like I said, I can't imagine trying to keep up with competitive Magic because the meta has to be constantly shifting, and there's so many sets, and like all I want to do is enjoy the cards I've bought. So yeah, like it's just insane. 7 sets in a year. 7. That's so many. If I were determined to buy a booster box of every set that came out to try and stay on top of it and be as relevant in the Magic world as humanly possible, oh, you look cool. Oh, that'd be really fun in my Civic deck. I would have so many cards. Because, I mean, if you think each set is what, 200 to 300 cards? Let's see. Does this say anywhere? Let's see. 351 cards just in the regular Lorwyn, not including special arts, not including, I don't know if we've gotten any from the like SPG marker, whatever that means. But, just the standard set, 350 cards. In the set in total. Obviously, you're not going to get all 350 from one box. But if I were to go out and buy a booster box of each set, it's 30 cards or 30 packs, 14 cards a pack. Take out the land and the token. So it's what, 12 cards a pack? That's a shit ton of cards. Like, that is an astronomical amount of cards. And I know that for the more competitively minded, this isn't what they're doing. They're not out here buying booster boxes and figuring out what they can make happen. They already know. They're watching all the previews, and before the set even releases, they know what cards are good, what cards are bad. They're already planning how to upgrade their decks. Which also just sounds completely fucking exhausting. Yeah, I just like it's too much to keep up with. It really is. And for me, it's just not worth it. I think 3 to 4 sets a year is perfect. Because then the set has time to breathe, people have time to enjoy it, people have time to actually sort of let it sink in, and it doesn't feel like you're rushing through the year because, oh, set came out, got to get to the next set. Oh, set came out, got to get to the next set, Or, ooh, set came out, let's preview the set that's coming out in 6 months. Alternatively, right, something like Sorcery, which is a game I see a lot of people talking about. I haven't tried yet, I've watched videos and haven't been totally sold on it. I would like to sit down and try it in person, but finding time in my schedule to do that is a little tricky sometimes. So, oh, that will be really good in my Vren deck because I have Maha. It's Feather's Knight, so that's basically a board wipe. So that's I'm gonna put that aside so I remember it. Another mythic, Meek Attack. Put a creature card with total power and toughness 5 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste at the beginning of the next end step. Sacrifice that creature. Okay. But yeah, so like sorcery, I think maybe goes too far in the other direction. Of they do like one set a year, which they're a small studio. They're not Wizards of the Coast or Fantasy Flight or Bandai. So I get it, but at the same time, like one set a year can sort of almost feel like you're being starved for new content. But maybe that works to sorcery's strengths. I don't know enough about sorcery to say whether or not that's good for the game. It seems to be doing well. I mean, the 3rd set just came out. So who knows? Maybe that's exactly what sorcery needs. But for me, that feels like too far in the other direction. Like I said, 3 to 4 sets, a set a quarter, man. It's fine. That's what we had back in the day, Magic. It worked. We were happy. So yeah, I don't. Ooh, got a foil grub. So yeah, I just think 7 sets is ridiculous. Like even 3 sets, I think is fine. But I am also aware that when it comes to TCGs, I'm the weird guy, right? I like opening booster packs and seeing what I pull. I don't really like buying singles unless I feel like I've opened enough packs to sort of feel like I've gotten a taste for the set, which is sort of my stance on singles, right? Like if you want to buy singles, fine, but I feel like you should at least buy some sealed product first. I have way more fun. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Way more fun opening packs and going, ooh, I wonder if that would be good in this deck, than I do scrolling through Scryfall and going, yep, need to buy that. Yep, need to buy that. Yep, need to buy, And we got her. I know she's only a rare, so I'm sure most people got her, but hey, we got Elf Monty. So that's cool. But oh my god. Holy shit, look at that. That is beautiful. So yeah, for me, I sort of come down to if I've opened, say arbitrarily, a dozen booster packs, and then there's a card from the set that I'm like, it would be really nice if I had that, then yeah, if I can get it for a reasonable price, I will buy it. I have a Vren the Relentless Commander deck, and I bought a shit ton of singles for that because I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do, but also because basically all those singles were from sets that I couldn't get for reasonable prices anymore. Original Kamigawa cards and oh my god, what was it called? The fairy tale one. Shit. And I can't look it up because my phone's recording. Man, that's gonna kill me. But yeah, so like that and like even Neon Dynasty, finding packs of that for a reasonable price. Another mythic. Love it. Oh, fuck yes. That is so cool. Oh, as Chronicle of Victory enters, choose a creature type. Creatures in control of the chosen type get +2/+2 and have first strike and trample. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, draw a card. Again, either Vren or my Scarab God deck, my 2 Dimir decks. That would be great in. But yeah, so there was a bunch of cards for that I felt like I could justify buying singles because getting sealed product was just not reasonable, right? But like if you like this set, there's people who are already like, oh, I'm just gonna buy all the singles I need. Like, come on, man, at least open a few packs. That's how this fucking game was designed. Right? Like, you buy packs, you work with what you pull. And look, I open packs from sort of a nostalgic standpoint because with Mana Value 2, that is so specific. But yeah, as far as opening packs, like for me, it's sort of a nostalgia thing because it takes me back to my childhood, opening packs before I had to worry about the world and bills and all that shit. And I could just have fun with my friends playing cards. So, such cool art. So I like that, but also like there's more fun for me from a deck building perspective to open cards and go, I wonder if I can make this work. I wonder how well this will play in this other deck. As opposed to going on to fucking EDH Rec or whatever and having somebody else tell me what will make a good deck and what cards I should buy. I just don't get that sort of mentality. And if that's your thing, more power to you. Like I said, I just don't get it. Another Reese. I assume it's Reese. Twin Flame Travelers. Foil Island. Another one of these dumb things. So yeah. But anyway, I'm very excited for this set. There's some dope cards. I've been taking a quick look at them as we've been going through them. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to like deconstruct decks I just built to work some of these cards in. But it'll be worth it. So anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on Lorwyn Eclipsed? Have you been cracking into it? Have you gotten any good cards? Made any sick pulls? Just your overall thoughts on the set in general. So like I said, I'm very excited for this set. This is just another Shockland. Love to see it. This is just one of those sets that really had my attention from the word go. So I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts were. If there was anything you pulled that you were excited about, anything you maybe didn't know about that you pulled that you were excited about. Are there new decks? Are you going to build anything specific with cards from this set? Because I think this is going to be great. I think this set's going to sell like hotcakes, At least I hope it does. I'm hoping that enough people are willing to buy the sets that are good and fit with Magic. Another legendary. And that we see that have a positive impact on the game. All right. Last pack in this box. Lorwyn Eclipsed. Will I be buying more Lorwyn Eclipsed? Probably buy a couple of packs here and there, but I won't be buying another box. I can tell you that. Because at $140 or whatever a box, one is plenty. So let's see. So Crossroads Watcher, Enraged Flamecaster, Auntie Sentence, Wanderwine Distractor, Wanderbrine Preacher, Midnight Tilling, Marrow Sky Swimmer, Darkness Descends. So got another one of those. Great. Warren Torchmaster, Flock Imposter, Pestered Wellguard. That seems like a real shitty job. Just sit in a well. And our rare Kirill Attentive First Year. Oh my. I've been looking at doing a Boros deck, so I mean, tap 2 untapped creatures you control. Copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only once each turn. That could be really fun. That could be really, really fun. And our last foil is a Scarblade Scout. Just a common, but such sick art. So yeah, guys, that was Lorwyn Eclipsed. This is all my legendaries, my shocklands, my mythics, the cool stuff, alt arts. All in all, pretty solid haul, I think. Got some really cool. I might try and build a Doran deck. He seems like he could be really fun. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today while we cracked into Lorwyn Eclipsed. I'm very happy to be back. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you will enjoy the videos I make in the future. Anyway, don't forget to check out the link below to follow me on Instagram if you want to. And yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of Lorwyn and what you're excited for in terms of other Magic sets this year, or just in general for gaming this year. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate everybody who tunes in and checks out my silly little videos. And I will be back soon with more stuff, more gameplay content, including my promised review of Warzone Eternal. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you later.